first guess.
Gotta drive.
Why do I not? Do you not have video of me?
I don't see your video.
No.
That's weird. Okay.
It might be a leave and come back thing.
Okay. Bye. Never
Okay,
returning.
Well, it was nice for her being on for a minute.
Oh wait. Wait. I was there for a second. That was weird. Let's.
There we go.
Oh wait. How is that? Why is that a thing? That's. I don't know what I did.
We got you now.
Hi.
Yeah, slay that goes somewhere. Hello. Nope, maybe not.
Come on.
Ah.
Do.
So, Wise has an Alexa equipped fitness tracker.
Oh, was that one of the new announcements today?
Yep.
I didn't get it.
They got that in a scale.
I didn't get to look at a lot of new stuff today. Wait, what? Why'd the video go away? Hold on.
I see your video.
No, your video kicked out of the switcher for some reason.
My video?
The laptop,
doesn't like me?
The laptop video.
Oh.
There, it's back. Now people can
Your
see
thing.
it. There it is. Now everybody's here. Apparently all the grades from the basement years of the Wrestling Mayhem show are on AEW Dark tonight. All right, I'm set. So let me know when you guys are settled. And we'll get rolling.
Way messages go.
Did you know there's like a Zuckerberg hospital?
Really? Like that Zuckerberg?
I'm guessing.
Okay.
It's the Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital.
So he gave money to somebody.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I don't think he runs the hospital.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, why is there a Facebook portal on everybody's nightstand? That's strange. All right. So we put these curtains up, and I think it makes me more tired not seeing any light from outside.
Yeah.
What's that? I could change that, but we're hiding. We're hiding from the world right now.
Good.
Do
So.
you think it's going to make people question what's in there?
Oh, people already question when we had Windows. What are you talking about? Have you seen our other shows on this network?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of goes with it. So. Oh boy, you guys ready?
Yes.
Are you ready back there?
Back there?
Mentally no. 487 this week? Now you're questioning it.
What a jerk.
Yes, it is 487 because last week was 486.
Oh, good.
Last week we had free hazmat suits.
Yes.
Today we're in quarantine.
Somebody responded to that video on YouTube and says, "Hey, like me." And I'm like, are you just referring to the title in the picture, or did you refer to something else in the hour-long video kind of thing? So, I don't know. The Walking Rona. Not the title. I do not want to put Corona. Oh, I hit a color. There it is. That's what that button does.
Wait.
There it is.
You hit a color?
Yeah, there's a color button. Now it's yellow. Now it's orange. Now it's yellow.
Are you
No, it's us.
reducing your broadcast bandwidth to help out with the nation's
Yes, we're gonna do.
constraints.
I mean, we're already doing the work by broadcasting at a hot 720. There's a
We need to go to 480 black and white.
480 black and white. Okay. Wait, I wonder if I have a black and white button.
No grayscale, just black and white.
That's a black button. There's some color bars. Hold on. Let's see what I got here. Anything that I got nothing in my media pool. Let's see. That could be a thing. Nope, that's in effect for another day. Okay, that's enough.
So are you using the new Facebook layout?
We don't interface directly with that. But it surprised me.
I mean, in your general life.
No. It surprised me when it popped up like Thursday, I think. So I'm gonna have to start getting used to that, I'm sure.
All right. Sorg,
Yeah.
can we start the show?
No.
It's Sorg's show. He can start it when he wants to.
Nobody has anywhere to go. Everything's fine. Everything's just fine. No recording channels. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
What the?
Oh no. We had a good run, guys.
There we go. Oh.
Stop recording, it says. But hold on.
That's not working.
Something is wrong. There we go. I just did the thing in the wrong order, apparently. Okay. We good.
My hands are cold.
Yeah, I'm getting that too. Are you just cold down there?
The bunker is cold.
The bunker is cold.
I mean, I got cement floors down here.
Yeah, it's that but I don't miss that about the basement.
And there's no official heating source
Other than that giant monitor beside you.
Well, so we have the old school steam-based radiator heat, but the pipes for those run across the ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
So it does heat the basement from that point of view, but it only gets really warm when it's actually running.
I do have an old 2007 iMac in my old office, and I just open it for warmth. I just turn it on for warmth.
Turn it on for warmth.
Those monitors are getting pretty toasty. So yeah, I just go like this over it. It doesn't really run anything. I tried running Shadow Warrior, like the old DOS game Shadow Warrior, the horribly really bad stereotypes of Asians Duke Nukem kind of game, and it wouldn't even run on there. So it's like, all right, you're just good for warmth now. Not even playing old video games. So.
Hi.
Missy's going to tell us to start the show again.
Yes, I am.
Do you think we should start the show?
And maybe we should start the show.
Do you think I'm playing Animal Crossing during the show?
I know you are.
Jeez. We should. We gotta set something up that Katie can put the Animal Crossing like up in the corner during the show.
Yes.
We'll look into that.
Tech manager, how can we do that?
I need to buy 2 more of these boxes over here. So anyway, so I stop leaving them at home when I want to try to figure out games at home, and then need to bring them in because I need an iPad in. What? People were entertained out there. Nope, half of them left. Okay.
Are you not entertained?
If I lose quality, let me know because I'm doing a 2 gig download.
Okay. It's all stressed. All the bandwidth is stressed. Our attending. It's Animal Crossing effect.
My niece is visiting, so I'm using the internet.
Okay. All right. There you go. From our secret underground bunker in Pittsburgh, PA, it is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here, talking geeky things, and we got the crew in their respective places. Over from Studio C in the Big D is John Chichilla. He's a gadget guru of Big Bank International Esquire. I forgot the name of it. There it is. There it is.
You were going to say he's an intern.
He's an intern. Yeah, well, everything's topsy-turvy now, upside down. I mean, have you hired? Has your kid become your intern yet?
No, but I will tell you what. I don't know what's going on, but like every day at lunchtime, because I've been working through lunch, he comes down and asks me what I want for lunch brings lunch down, comes down 20 minutes later,
Wow.
picks up the glass and the plate.
What?
Yes, I don't know what's got. I mean, he takes a break from the Roblox and the Minecraft and brings Dad some grub. So I'm pretty thankful for that.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Also with us from Studio D, also Animal Cross Island, is Stutters.
Hi. Yeah, I'm the Big D I'm Big D, Studio Big D, and the Big C. I don't remember.
So are you time traveling in Animal Crossing? I hear that's a big thing.
I've not time traveled. I didn't know that was a thing. I keep getting stung by wasps, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
There's a thing where you can set the date in the future. It like makes things happen quicker.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about doing that because you pick like where you're located at, and it syncs with where, like right now it's nighttime there at the same time of day as it is here. It's really cool. It's fun to watch like the sunset and the sun come up.
But things take time. Like there's progression, right? Like when you grow food and stuff.
Yeah.
So you can make things happen faster.
Good tip. This is just gonna be a show of hot tips for Animal Crossing New Horizons.
It seems to be the thing. It's Animal Crossing and Doom all weekend, it seems. But anyways, this is the AwesomeCast, where we're talking about whatever is keeping us sane here from the day-to-day and everything going on these days. You can check out everything at awesomecast.com. Tweet us at AwesomeCast and hit us at the AwesomeCast Facebook page and group. A lot of great discussions happening over the Facebook group, and we got a ton of stories from you guys to share here on the show from that Facebook group. You can also please subscribe to the show on your favorite podcatcher, whether that be Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, Android Podcasts, Google Play Music, YouTube Music Podcasts, YouTube itself, wherever you listen to podcasty things, or ask your Echo or something like that. Also, we're here live every Tuesday at AwesomeCast Facebook page at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, more or less. Maybe we're not on, and maybe I'm just playing some jazzy music. That may be the case while you guys are hanging out in the chat room, but we're getting online because, again, we got nowhere to go for the next several weeks. And also, thank you to our Patreon I'm sorry, not those yet. Our audio partners, the 405media.com, carrying us, streaming us every day at noon Eastern Time, and our friends at Post Industrial Audio, postindustrial.com, who've been actually doing a lot of great coverage about all of the situations going on in our region and the effects of all the shutdowns and lockdowns and everything too. So please go check that out. They got a great daily newsletter that's been following all that stuff. So really appreciate what they've been doing there. So, and reminder, whoever mentions current events first loses. Trying to make us not think about it, but man, wait till you get to these stories. Thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends Matt at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, and John Carmen. And also our friends at the Fan of the Show level, Dutter's Favorite Fedor, Michael Fedor, and pghmuseums.org. PGH Museums actually are still doing interviews. They've been putting out a couple over the last couple of weeks, so still some content going out there, and I'm sure they're going to be looking at ways that you can get your museuming in virtually, because I know there's been a lot of stories coming out generally about that, and might be a couple in the rundown we might get to eventually too. So you guys, please support the show at patreon.com/awesomecast. I know things are crazy. If you got to tighten the belt, that's okay. But again, if you want to make sure we can keep the lights on here in the studio, if you in the studio, sorry, yes, I'm the first one that loses. Sorry, Scott, in the chat room, mentioning current events. But anyways, thank you everybody that does support the show. So let's get into our awesome thing of the week. Let's forget what's happening in 2020. It's not treating us too good. So, Chilla, what's going on in 1997?
So as things started to occur last week, a number of people took to various social media outlets and said, hey, is it time to bring back AOL Instant Messenger? As people were staying indoors. And that has been answered. 1997.chat. For those of you kids out there, back in the day, there was a thing called AOL Instant Messenger. And it reading some of the commentary, right, about this, it really was much easier back in more simpler times. Back when AIM, ICQ, Microsoft Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, etc., you had buddies and you had a status. You really only chatted one at a time. There was no feed. When you set your next status, the one prior to that went away. When you were offline, no one could message you. It was just much, much simpler. So this person, I don't even know who did this, rebuilt AOL Instant Messenger, cobbling together a bunch of modern day technologies. For the chat, he used Twilio. For the interface, he used Svelte. It's running on a Mongo database, using a database as a service from MLab. He's hosting on Heroku, which is, I guess, a dead simple platform as a service, as he calls it. He has betas out. I know there's a Mac app, so you can download the Mac app. You can add buddies. You can turn your sound on, and it looks a lot like AOL Instant Messenger.
So I'm in the web version of this, the web app version of this, and I can't figure out how to add buddies to this. Unfortunately, I'm trying to figure that out right now, and I don't know. Well, sorry, I might have had some audio going through with you guys, but yeah, I mean, it looks like Instant Messenger for sure. So if you want to look for Sorgatron on there, oh no, I misspelled my username because as I was doing it real quick here. So we'll see if I can change that. I was considering going with my old. So yeah, here's the question: do you use a new username, or should you sign up in the username you used on AOL Instant Messenger?
I was thinking about that, and I'm just going with Chilla because that's my new
Good
person. What is your username? I'll add you.
Apparently Sorg Strawn. Currently, hopefully I can change that. Good, because I didn't want to have to resurrect the old Sir Psycho Sexy name. So, big Chili Peppers fan in the 90s.
Sorg,
apparently.
SORGSTRONG.
Yeah, that's my accidental username.
There's no user found with that screen name.
Really? I just signed up. Okay.
If you can find Chilla.
We'll have to look at this. I'll have to look at this on the app because I honestly don't see any way to add somebody on this. But hey, it's an early work in progress, right? So, and then probably that Mac app is going to be a little more. So it's Mac only and web. Okay. And there's a Medium article about it too. I like that. Just a primer for you guys that haven't done this in a while. ASL is age, sex, location. So
that's all you need to know about it.
Yes, and then you just go from there. So that's what all the kids did back in the day. Katie, what's your awesome thing? We were talking about it a little bit before the show.
Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yay!
Let me tell you why I love this. It's mindless. It's fun. There are tasks. There are rewards. I have things to do every day. I've been in isolation much longer, and I need some sort of reward-based system happening here.
You're the expert at this, basically.
Yeah, and what I also love about it is my niece just gave me a grass skirt. So my brother and my niece and nephew and my sister-in-law live in State College, and obviously, not kind of sticking in our area right now, and I don't know when I'm gonna get a chance to see them again, so hopefully it's soon. But she can visit my island and I can visit her island with the power of the internet. And so she's 4, and it depends on how busy, how bad the weather is out there. We get to play more often when the weather is a little bit worse, it seems like. But she'll come over and we'll play tag, and which is fun, which is just literally us just running around the island chasing each other, or we'll play hide and seek. And we also play another game where we bury various items on 3 different items on the island, and we take turns finding them. So we're making our own fun.
So this is the perfect alternative when you can't play outside.
Yes, exactly. So, and it's real nice because I'm sure Chilla's running into this too. The kids are stuck in the house, nothing, and it gives her something to look forward to, is playing with her Aunt TT. So it's really cool.
Well, Chilla's fine because his child is serving him lunch, so
It's that's just 20 minutes a day. And 20 minutes is a very short period of time in the span of the average waking hours of a child. Finding things to do. I will say my navigating Google Hangouts has become Google Hangouts and FaceTime have become a household item. That's a big one, and then carrying on, Roblox, Minecraft. I'm questioning, should I get Animal Crossing, because if I give him that, then I lose probably control of my Switch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Katie, so I'm familiar, of course, when we all got on Animal Crossing on the phone. So how expanded is that experience versus what I'm used to if I'm a newbie coming in from like the iPhone Animal Crossing?
It's interesting because it's still like very similar thing where you're just running around the island doing tasks, pulling weeds, shaking trees. I get stung by wasps daily. I will learn how to defend myself against wasps with a net soon, hopefully. Like one of your earlier, I'm 4 days in. I'm trying to think. I'm like earlier tasks is you start collecting fossils and different creatures to set up a museum. And once you get the museum, it's massive. It's so pretty inside. It's there's a butterfly section and a dinosaur section and a fish section. So the fish have their own little aquariums, and they're massive. They're massive aquariums. And then like the outside with the butterflies reminds me of Phipps, and it's just really cool. This giant museum you get to run around, and you have dinosaur bones, and I'm like, oh, it's like being outside, being the Carnegies, but here in my house.
Nice.
So you have these tasks, and then you accumulate points, or you just complete the task to get to the next one? Does it go on forever, or is there a point?
There's plenty to do for this to go on forever. You either have bells, which is your currency, or miles. Miles are kind of like more task driven, and then you can use those miles to fly to like either random items where you could just like pillage them because they're just computer islands, so just take whatever you want from them. And then you're recruiting other people to come move to your island, and you're trying to build a Nook store, which is really weird because a lot of this is Nook. They use the word Nook a lot, like the Nook store and stuff. And
okay, that's because I've heard a lot of people talking about Nooks over on Twitter for the last week, and I'm like, are we talking about the Barnes and Noble tablet? Like, is there a weird like cross branding that's happening here I'm not aware of?
They're bringing it back.
Yes.
But you're building tools. You're like daily. It's chasing butterflies, picking up seashells, catching fish, shaking trees for twigs, and breaking rocks. It's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot of just like really nice mindless tasks.
It's a chore simulator.
Yeah, pretty much it is, and you are absolutely indebted to this Tom Nook fella who brings you to the island, and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I brought you to the island. You owe me, I think it's like 99,000 bells. So you have to work off that debt, and if you want a bigger house, you have to pay that off." And then he's like, "Well, I built you a bigger house. Now you owe me 198,000 bells."
Wait, so it's like a debt simulator?
Oh yeah, there's a debt sim. Yeah, it's just like real life, but animals.
But it's wait a minute. So this is really preparing kids for the real world in the long run.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You go run around, do tasks to make money to pay off your house that this guy said he just gave to you. Thank you, nice sir. It's really funny. Here's my favorite hot tip on this whole thing: is there's a Nintendo Switch app on your phone, and if you download the Nintendo Switch app, there's a feature where I can chat with my best friends, which is a whole other process there. But like Charlotte and I can chat, and instead of like having this keyboard and having to like scroll over A, B, whatever, if you have the app on your phone, you can chat with that and use a keyboard, like a normal keyboard. Like
nice.
You only can type so many characters, but yeah, so that's a little bit of a challenge. You start doing a little bit like Twitter shorthand.
Yeah. Bringing it around. I like it.
You could always use the text to or speech to text. Hit the microphone and just say what you want.
Yeah, that does too. But the mic doesn't turn off. Which is something I dislike, because I'll go out of the app and you know how you can still see that the app is still listening. So when you leave the app, it's still listening.
That's scary. You're going to hear a story about that sooner or later.
Yeah. So I didn't like that, and I turned that off real quick because I was like, oh, no.
Wow. So Animal Crossing, another reason to get the Switch. So it seems like everybody's picking up one or has picked up, like physically picked up theirs in the last week. I've been seeing a lot of tweets about everybody getting on their Nintendo Switch, especially during all their lockdowns.
So can you play just real quick, because I'm looking at it now.
Mhm.
It's $60, but it looks like it supports tabletop mode, which means 2 players can play simultaneously with the Joy-Cons.
Yes. My brother and Charlotte both play like that.
Okay.
They'll both run around their island. It's kind of
Is
like
it
one
split
becomes
screen?
the
Like, how do
helper.
you see who's where? Or do you kind of have to roam around together?
It's like a Sonic and Tails kind of thing.
Okay.
Like where somebody's like the dominant, one doing the task and the one's a helper.
Awesome.
You could run around and pretty much just, pick up for your kids, find all the stuff for your kids.
Wow.
Be their assistant. And it's really cool because you can import, this is another fun thing, is you can import with using QR codes to get different designs for your clothes and the walls. So like people who've had previous versions of Animal Crossing and had different clothes, you can import those in with a QR code, or you can draw them and get a QR code. So they fancy pants.
Nice.
So are people like swapping QR codes online like the
Yes.
like drugs?
It's a thing now.
I'm glad QR codes have come around. So my awesome thing for this week is you guys have noticed if you're a watcher of an ongoing watcher of like things like Daily Show, Colbert, Fallon, it's kind of interesting to watch everybody in the high end production television industry using the same tools we are. So to the effect that so Colbert and Fallon, I think, have both been doing monologues, like 10 to 15 minute shows, which looks like they're filmed on their iPhones, and those last I knew were being put in front of reruns. Like they'll have a new monologue that they did like from their home, and you saw like Jimmy Fallon with like his kid like hanging off of him as he's trying to read the jokes, and the kid's not laughing at him, and his wife holding the phone is, and Colbert has been like in his bathtub or is stoking a fire outside or something. So Trevor Noah's been doing these ones I've been watching on YouTube over the last week, and it's the daily social distancing show with Trevor Noah now. And again, it's been like they've been doing Skype, they've been doing this, they've been doing interviews with doctors, like him, the rest of the staff has been doing stuff as well, and they had some releases through the past week. This has been a digital thing, but now I started last night actually. This is becoming what they are broadcasting on Comedy Central in place of the daily show, since nobody can go to the studio. On top of that, my awesome thing is kind of this general kind of trend that's going on. Oprah debuted a free Apple TV series discussing what's going on with COVID-19, and also, and I watched a little bit of it. It was her and her, I guess, a longtime guest. This I think it was a pastor or a preacher or something. And it was it's what I fear when I have somebody on the show that hasn't been on before, and they're like on a phone, and it's very delayed and very kind of sketchy looking. So it's freaking Oprah, to that extent. We've been seeing this. We've seen this for a while, and it's been ramped up here on, your CNNs and everybody have been bringing guests in over Skype for a while now. I even see it on WWE sometimes, like, when they'll just have somebody call in, talking about, I don't know, a match or something, some legends like Hulk Hogan from his beach shop or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just interesting to see this, and for how many years we've been working at this and kind of perfecting what we're doing now. Like even like, Katie, you're like on your phone, aren't you? Like that, and that looks pretty decent, in comparison to what I'm seeing like the big names do. It's kind of astonishing to see everybody's kind of on this level playing field, and that's what we see on television. You're going to see a lot of this. Like everybody's basically going to get used to seeing Skype lag conversations. Because they're all making like rookie mistakes when they're getting into this.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't. Who was it? Conan was doing on his iPhone. I know Apple Music, their Beats One radio station, Zane Lowe was broadcasting from his house.
I think I saw Tall Kathy with Kiss here locally is starting to broadcast from us. That's a little easier because radio, and it's usually they have a direct connection in, and it's just audio. But like the Skype thing gets a little more tricky.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But it's interesting too because I see an increase, and I wonder what'll happen when this is all over. I see an increase in people just video conferencing versus audio. I don't know if it's people looking for a connection on the other side of the internet or what's causing people to go to that more video based platform. Even in our house, there's a lot more FaceTime calls coming in versus just someone calling. Same thing at work. I see more people turning on the camera. It's definitely interesting, and I can't. Was it WTA? I saw someone, and I can't remember from who it was and what news channel, but they were doing a lot of their interviews over Facebook Live. In fact, I think the Carla's boss, who owns a salon in Mount Lebanon, La Pomponais, they're being interviewed, and I think it's WTA, and I think that's how they're doing it. It's just a Facebook Live or a Skype meeting.
And in most cases, they get to post edit it, so they get to maybe hopefully take time and kind of roll over some of those issues along the way. Unless they do a live spot or something like that. But it's kind of interesting to see where they're going with that. And we're going to have more discussions about kind of that video conversation thing, including some things that have been going wrong with some platforms here in a moment. But first, I want to give a shout out to our friends. Hey, in this time, when you need to want to support our local businesses in everything that's going on, here in Pennsylvania, of course, nobody's allowed to eat in at a restaurant or anything, and of course, delivery is the option. From your eating parks to I saw a steakhouse down. We took a drive around the city today to see how empty things were actually, like through Oakland and downtown. And I saw like an old steakhouse that now has curbside delivery, and I don't know that it looked like the sign just got put up. So, and our good friends Slice on Broadway, well, those guys are experts in delivery. They already got this thing down, and they looked as busy as ever when I rolled in there tonight to pick up our sponsor pizza. Go check them out, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. And please, this is the time, if you are able to support them back, pick yourself a slice from one of their 4 locations in Beachview, Carnegie, the East End, and PNC Park here in the Pittsburgh area. There was one I was trying to find something that we shared a little bit ago. Like one of the Pirates or Penguins ordered 400 pizzas from them recently.
Yeah, it was 400 pizzas between them and Pizza David and the Strip District.
Nice.
But there was a nice write up in the Trib. I'll put it in the chat.
Awesome. Good to see you guys are out there supporting them. I know I hear about some people ordering it in their times of quarantine, so go check them out. Thanks a lot. Slice on Broadway, sliceonbroadway.com, PGH_slice on the Twitter. Sliced it over 300 pizzas from the location at PNC Park and did them for Allegheny General. That was the other one.
So cool.
Awesome. Was that the same one we're talking about, or was that?
I think it's the same one.
Okay. So let's get into the stories that you guys posted over on the Facebook page for AwesomeCast. Hey, Riz, and I think we talked about this. I think it was my awesome thing last week. The Netflix party that lets you have movie night with your friends. I want to caution people with that because I have not had a chance to jump into it, but somebody else did on one of the other podcasts I listened to. I know Chachi's been trying to use it, and there's been some weird ads for them. So be careful with your login there. And again, these guys kind of popped up out of nowhere. So apologies if you guys are in that. So there might be a little bit of a question mark on the validity of that one there. There you go. And that article is in the chat room for you guys there. We'll see about putting that in the notes too. Let's see. This came out of nowhere. Our friend Amanda Narcissi, who's our usual Apple connection here, iPad Pro was unveiled last week, including was that LiDAR? Your iPads are going to have LiDAR, Chilla?
Yes, lidar,
Ooh.
and it's a modified version of last year's chip. But yes, the cameras have been configured on the back to kind of resemble the iPhone. What is it now? The 12 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it has time, like it's some kind of time of flight, and it's supposed to help out with the AR feature functionality.
So, new keyboard. I think there was a backlit keyboard that was included in this. Is that right?
I'll tell you what, I'm very interested in and I'll put that was actually going to be one of my things, but if we can cover it right now because it should be pretty quick. I'll go in under Amanda's topic if I can find it and put in the link to the keyboards. So they actually came out with a new keyboard. It is backlit. It is based on the same connector as the 2018 iPad Pro. And it has pass-through USB-C for charging. So you can use the USB-C on the side of the iPad, but you can still charge it with the keyboard base. The keyboard base also kind of elevates it up and it kind of floats in midair.
Hey, that looks. Whoa!
so-
Wait. So like your floating iMac you have in the studio?
Yes. So if you go to the link that I put in there,
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
and
here.
scroll part way down the page, they have like a side by,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of shows the iPad Pro levitating a couple inches off the
Oh,
keyboard,
look at that.
and you'll notice the trackpad.
Yeah.
It's now included. There's a video that Apple put together, I think, and they published on maybe it was The Verge last week, that shows the trackpad in live and in use. It's pretty cool because it kind of converts to a cursor when you're floating around the screen, but as you hover over buttons and things that you would want to interact with, it kind of modifies the cursor to be more of a pre-touch signal. Very cool in the way that works, and I wonder if we'll see that kind of transfer over to Mac OS, at least for some of their applications. The keyboard, I think, starts at what, like $250 though for the smaller one. The other interesting thing though is the new keyboard is backwards compatible with the 2018 iPad Pro. So you don't necessarily have to update to this device to make use of the new keyboard. Because it's using the same pogo pin connector.
And the situation with the mouse is actually going to be backwards compatible to the OS. So
And so when you think about it though too, keep in mind that if you have a touchpad or a mouse, your device, that mouse, the way that mouse piece works is actually based on iOS, the new version of iOS that launched yesterday.
13.4?
Yeah, 13.4. So you can actually, you or anyone with anybody that can run 13.4 can get this type of mouse interaction. Obviously, it's not going to be integrated into a keyboard that's going to cling to the back of your iPad like what they're designing here, but you can do this on your iPad, on an iPad Air, and anything that can run 13.4.
Wow. So this really, like, it looks like it's going to feel like more and more laptopy. And
Yes.
again, it starts at like $800 without the keyboard, so it's also priced comparable to the new MacBook Air that was just announced as well, which actually came down.
Yeah, and I would say is based on some of the early specs that we're seeing, because people are starting to get delivery devices and there's devices out for review from Apple. If you're not concerned about LiDAR and the augmented reality stuff,
Yeah.
they're not as of right now, and they're saying, the Geekbench applications and whatnot may need upgraded. But there is not that much of a difference in the raw performance metrics coming off the new Bionic 12Z processor. But that keyboard starts at $299.
Yeah,
so it's an expensive.
So you're looking at like $1,100 for that. Katie, I know you're kind of more recently upgraded in your MacBook situation there. Do you see like iPad as an option as a smaller form or replacement in the future for you? Because I know you do mostly social media stuff.
Yeah, I think I definitely. This darn tarantula keeps jumping out at me. like the whole time Chilla was talking, I was running around in circles my island because this tarantula was chasing me. It wouldn't stop, so I don't know what to do.
I knew this was the perfect time to ask you a technical question.
Exactly. It's really funny because I was thinking about, well, between like being able to do a lot more on the iPad, there's a puzzle game that I kind of wanted on the iPad where the puzzle pieces are aligned on the outside and you put the puzzle together, and that looked like fun.
Nice.
But yeah, I think I don't know. Like I keep wishing that I had something smaller so I didn't have to take. Not that my laptop's super heavy or big.
Yeah.
But it definitely would be a lot easier to just sit down and go, okay, let's go through this real quick.
It's
nice having something that doesn't need to boot.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So here's a question for you. What's your thoughts on, what if they put out a Final Cut for the iPad?
Oh, game on. Game on. Yeah.
Because imagine, if you think about it, right, you have a touch screen there. You're not used to using a touch screen now. You can plug into a 4K monitor.
Mm-hmm.
You have a mouse. You have a keyboard.
Mm-hmm. We're getting there.
And what interested or what surprised me is when they were showing the Geekbench scores, it wasn't just them comparing it to the 2018 iPad Pro. It was them comparing it to like the 2015 or 2016 MacBook Pro, and showing I think it was the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air, and they were showing comparable compute scores, especially on video compression.
Jeez. And Amanda's in the chat room saying that iJustine was editing audio on hers. I mean, you have GarageBand. Like you could absolutely be editing your podcast on an iPad.
What was the is it Fahrenheit? What was the one guy that was at PodCamp many years ago he had a whole workflow built around the iPad, and back then he was using the camera connector kit with the USB.
Yeah, well, even I gave that tip because the upgrade for some of the podcast projects we're doing. I gave my old Blue Snowball to Matt Carlins, and I was like, hey, because his laptop seems to be a little kind of chunky as far as the video goes. So I'm like, hey, you have an iPad, right? Like if you get the little connector kit, you can plug that directly in with the Blue Snowball, and that just podcast from there. Or stream from there with Hangout or whatever the case may be. So yeah, no, there's those options have been there. It's just having a full-fledged editor. And there's one, I think I mentioned it on the show a few weeks ago because somebody was asking me about editing on his new iPad, and I was like, well, there are full-feature editors out there. I wouldn't edit a 3-hour 3-camera shoot of a pro wrestling show, but you're gonna get a lot done if you're just doing YouTube videos, right? Or highlight videos or something like that. Like if you're just Katie, I mean, you're probably not doing a lot of long videos. It's more kind of short form social media. The iPad's kind of perfect for something like that, if not your phone.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's just like, there's so many moments where I'm on my phone. I'm like, I just wish it was a little bit bigger so I could get a little more finite. Trying to like cut things down.
Yeah.
Like,
and
Amanda said Boss Jock. That was the name of the app.
Yep.
Fahrenheit said
Boss
a different one, but Boss Jock was out. Yeah.
That was a good one. My brother let me know that, and I saw this, but man, I wish I had some more time to jump into it. Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl on Steam was announced this past weekend, and it was part of their current game festival going out with free demos until Monday. So I think this was over the weekend entirely. But so that was cool. So out of nowhere, Jay and Silent Bob have a video game, and it looks like an old 8-bit. I want to say River City Ransom-esque, if you know what I'm talking about. Very 8-bit, And apologies, I have to switch up here because the iPad died, but that's okay. We're flexible. Oh, no, it's not working yet. We'll get that going. Yeah, no, it's Mall Brawl, kind of more based on the old
Or like a dungeon or a double dragon.
yeah, like a double dragon kind of situation. There we go. That should do it. That should show. Nope.
Do you think this is a hint that I've heard they're going to do another Mallrats.
Yeah, that's been in the works. I think they're up to doing a series for some platform. Last I heard, so they got the rights from Universal because they weren't doing anything with it. Good. That character, this character here looks just like one from. Yeah, it looks very 8-bit Double Dragon here. So definitely something worth checking out. Let's see what else we got here. Dave Podner, this one's for you, Katie. Portland strip clubs are starting a curbside food delivery service called Boober Eats. They are not entirely topless. They have their pasties. I think that helps the legality of this situation. I'm no expert in that. So, people are getting inventive.
Yeah.
People are getting a very, very. Oh God, there's a video. There's a video as well. Oh no, what did I? Oh, the ads are going nuts on this. Yeah, she's knocking. I'm pretty sure I'm good to show this. It's just a little bit of side boob, but it's happening. This guy doesn't look as excited as he probably should be. Maybe just confused, but there you go.
I think he would know since he ordered the food where he ordered it from.
That is true. This shouldn't be a surprise, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Except for maybe, did they actually do this? Let's see. And speaking of some naughty things, we mentioned Zoom before. Apparently, Zoom has had a problem with porn bobbing. There's a big public Zoom that is called WFH Happy Hour. It's a daily public Zoom call, has tons of people. The pictures they're showing here, I mean, it's a screen full of people from the looks of it, right? Apparently, if the defaults for Zoom, you drop in and you kind of have, I guess, kind of full access, and somebody keeps jumping in and playing Two Girls, One Cup. I'm not going to describe that for you. So they do have tips on here. So if you are
another throwback to like 1997.
I know, while we're at it, right? We're just all the hits. My wife rickrolled somebody the other day. I mean, they're all coming back. So just if you're using Zoom, maybe you should enable co-hosts so other people can help moderate, especially if you're doing a big one. Allow removed participants to rejoin because they can just jump in under a new username and just do the same thing. Disable file transfer. Oh no. That's a default file transfer? That's like Dick Pic City. Make sure join before host isn't switched on so no one can mess up your call before you're even in it. And you can also switch screen sharing to host only. Probably all amazing ideas when it comes. And this happened to us. I don't know if you guys may not have been doing this shows with us at the maybe Katie you were, but we would do Google Hangouts and we would do these public Google Hangouts because you could stream them then to YouTube at the time. Like directly, like Hangouts taking all these capabilities out, but you'd have somebody pop in, and I think they were playing porn or something, and it would get weird, or it was almost a chat roulette kind of thing. Katie, were you around for those days?
I don't think so, but that's hilarious.
So, nothing new. Related, and this is actually from a wrestling chat that I'm in. Pornhub is promoting a stay-at-home hub. They are giving free premium to everybody, to the world, to help flatten the curve for coronavirus.
Oh, I thought that was only in Italy.
No, it was in Italy. Now it's everywhere. Well, I saw that in the chat, and it was a related story, so I meant to we'll drop a link in there here eventually. But and to the point where, from the looks of it, when you log into it, it actually changes Pornhub to stay-at-home hub in your interface. So, and I think it drops in some tips for coronavirus as well. So, doing their part to help you out and making sure you're occupied while you're home. So, there you go. I'm gonna do a quick break here. I got a couple of stories I want to touch on that Missy. And Missy dropped that porn bombing map. Producer Missy has dropped that porn bombing Zoom story in there as well. But guys, in the meantime, if you're looking for options to stay connected during this whole social distancing situation, I mean, we've been modifying all of our plans over the last couple of days here and keeping things going and helping out. We actually had some great calls this week with our new friends, Steam Fitters. They're working on moving their educational facilities online and figuring out interfacing between like GoToMeetings and Blackboards and things like that. We're chatting with some other people. We've also helped with everything from wrestling events to churches getting on the live stream side to teleconferencing, everywhere in between. This team here at Sidekick Media Services, we've got you covered with streaming options, and we can be a sidekick for your superhero project. And damn it, some people need a superhero these days because it's fast moving and a lot of things going on. What next big thing can we help you with? Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com. All right, to roll that back to that, I love this one that popped up today. There is nope, that is the Pornhub thing. Not going to open that up online. A cowboy museum put their head of security in charge of Twitter, and his tweets are hilariously wholesome, according to the story at Bored Panda. This is awesome. Katie, did you look through some of these tweets? I know I shared this.
I was loving it. They're really funny. It's I wish, I don't know. There's always, working in social media, there's the doubt in me that this is kind of, it's not 100% authentic, but it looks authentic and I love it.
It's authentic enough to be just wonderful.
Yeah, just enjoy it for what it is my advice on that guy.
So here's a picture of the fellow, and he looks like a security guard that would be at a cowboy museum. He's got a cowboy hat. He's got a nice mustache. He says, "Hello, my name is Tim, and I'm the head of security for the cowboy. I've been asked to take on the additional duty of social media management. Nobody's there. He's there anyways. Why not, right?" And I love to the point where there was something in here while he's showing, like, here's a hat and eye patch the Duke wore in the movie True Grit. And he says, hashtag John Wayne. And he spells out hashtag John Wayne. Lucas, my grandson, told me to use hashtags. Thanks, Tim. This is Twitter tips, please. Sorry, thought I was Googling that. Thanks. That's where it's like, really? Did that really happen? But also, here's his boots. Spelled out hashtag John Wayne. Thanks, Tim. Lucas, can you read this? So there's a Dorothy Lang photo, politics of seeing a photo thing that he's showing off, and he says that is a photo of her. She looks like someone I'd have a beer with. It's amazing. Go check that out. That's at Bored Panda. We got the link in the notes as well. I love the whole creativity behind that, though, because I think a lot of the businesses are you want to still connect with your customers and you still want to be relevant, but you don't want to be insensitive and you might not have anything to sell or offer right now. Like, how do you keep connecting with your customers? And I love that they really thought outside the box with this one. Yeah, it really is kind of people need to still remember you when this is all over to go back, right? So yeah, like you don't want to totally disappear off the face of the earth if your business is on social media. Katie, any of these stories you want to hit up before we get out of here? Have we talked about the Adobe getting 2 months free on the Adobe Creative Cloud? No, so damn it, my Adobe just renewed, so I need to get on that. No, but if it's legit. So I put a link in the docs, but Adobe Creative Cloud is giving students free access without a license, with everything going on, and they're also giving people like us who are have a subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud 2 months for free. And it's really easy. And I just had cat butt behind me. There you go. Cat butt. Yes, we are completely cat butt cut of the AwesomeCast. We're gonna have also hashtag. Are they just extending everyone's subscription by 2 months? Do you have to put in? You have to go in and cancel. Like you go through the process like you're going to cancel, and then it offers you 2 months for free. And then they just credit your account for 2 months. To be fair, I've done this several times. Because you're like, $50 a month is kind of steep, and they'll actually they'll give you discounted rates. Like right now, like I'm paying $30 a month for mine. So and still kind of tough sometimes. But yeah, no, they so just like when you're trying to chicken challenge your cable provider to give you a cheaper plan, apparently Adobe is on the same principle. So
You don't even have to talk to someone.
no, you don't.
Mm-mm.
No, you don't. You just go through the
So in a
prompts.
minute,
And you're not actually canceling. It gives you a lot of "Are you sure?" prompts, and hey, here's an option, and you just kind of like see what you end up with. I think I've done this twice, but to know that there's like the 2 free going on right now, and this is and it's specifically like in response, right? Like, what you give a notice that it's because
Amanda's indicating you have to write COVID-19 as the reason.
yes, yeah, makes sense. So give that a shot. I mean, and there's a lot of places that are kind of looking at ways they can help you with that too. So there's a tip for dudders in here.
Oh, man.
Who put that in there?
I put that in there.
Oh, all right, Chilla.
Ooh.
It's about Tarantula Islands and all farming.
Oh,
save me
jeez.
from the
I saw it when I was looking for other news.
Polygon: How to find or create a tarantula island to make bells in Animal Crossing. There you go. Was that what all the crates are for?
I don't know.
You can display your animals, like the things you catch. You can display them outside your house. Like if you went to my house right now, there's some you collect fossils, and sometimes you get duplicates. There are 2 chunks of like literal dinosaur like midsections and a quarter of a wrestling ring in my house right now.
Yeah, I saw that. Why do you have a corner of a wrestling ring?
I had no idea. It was one of those things because like presents will drop from the sky and they'll have furniture in there, and that was the furniture was a corner of a wrestling ring. So I'm hoping I get the other parts of it, but I'm not sure.
So yeah, because that was one thing that perplexed me in the Animal Cross tweets over the weekend was there was this article about that you can do. I guess you can do flyovers of other people's islands. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and something about there was something astonishing about everybody displaying their crates.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if were they like kind of can you like put them in patterns or something? Was that what was happening?
Yeah. So like you could whenever you find things, you can display them indoors or outdoors. So if you have like the tarantulas are in the little crates, it looks like the little hermit crab boxes that you get.
Yeah.
They're just like a little plastic lid on top. And some of the other ones are a little bit fancier when you have like aquatic, like fish and stuff outside of your house. But you can display anything you want outside to, make it look like your place.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Giant. We got Crappy in the chat room saying no one said anything about giant spiders. In all caps.
I need fire.
Oh, jeez. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we head out?
I think I'm good.
Yes. Good. Yes. All right, guys. Hey, we got a lot of things going on despite the fact that we can't let anybody in our door here at the studio. So I hope everybody is staying home. Obviously, everybody here tonight is Wrestling Mayhem Show. I think we have like 50 people on tonight's show usually that we cram in the studio for Patreon in the bank, and they're all coming digitally somehow. If the Animal Crossing is slow tonight, Dudders, it's probably our fault. There's that. But we do have a lot going on here. We still have new episodes in the works for Fishing Without Bait, a new podcast that Matt Carlin's put together called Listen to Your Parents. We have a Facebook page for that. That's over on our Sorgatron Media feed, sorgatronmedia.com. If you want to go listen to the first episode, subscribe to the master feed so you get it in your podcatcher. And also the live stream, it looks like we're selling at 9 p.m. on Thursdays for the time being. And just something for parents to kind of talk about how things are going in this situation. Chilla, I know you expressed some interest in kind of connecting with that too with Doug, because I know Doug Durda was kind of involved with some online schooling situation tonight, for instance. Also, we are teaming up with our friends at Yajagoff, the podcast. They are doing a series, and initially this was going to be something we were going to do right here in the studio, but again, with everything going on, modifying plans a little bit. But they're doing a special artist feature series that's going to be on Facebook Live for Jagoff. We're probably going to put a bunch of other places too, but we're going to have, I believe it's 4 weeks of artists and comedians and things like that going on, and that is going to be kicking off Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. and our first guest this week is going to be Colin Chamberlain, and Living with Monsters are going to be with us for that. So go check that out. It's going to be our first time doing this. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts for a live show. So it's more than a couple of talking heads like we do on this show, and Animal Crossing with giant spiders, apparently. But it's going to be interesting. Go check it out. We'll be live again 7:30, more or less. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, the 25th, and we're going to be, and we're scheduled through April 15th. Samantha Bentley and Jess Klein. Jess Klein, we just saw perform on a Zoom call thanks to Scott McTaggart the other night. I believe Jess Klein and the Good Times is their band, if I recall off the top of my head. Ray Zawadina and Byron Nash featured, Aaron Kleiber, who's been on this show, comedian, and Justin Wade Kalsevic, I'm going to say, all going to be part of this over the next 4 weeks. So an exciting thing we're working on here, and there's sponsors on the show. Is the artists are being paid to help them through these times too. So please go check it out. Hopefully, support these artists, support what Jagoff's doing, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the chat room for that. Chilla, chillatech.net.
John's chill on the Twitters, chill on the Facebook.
And Katie, you're all over the internet. I saw you streaming on Instagram last night. We delayed the beginning of our wrestling show because I wanted to see what was going on.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've been. I decided to go live last night. Today was my last really rough round of chemo before I get to start like the little bit easier ones.
Nice.
And so I did a night before chemo. What is it like? And it was so much fun. Matt Light jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
And him and I were just kind of going back and forth about the stuff, and we're definitely at some point going to have to digitally, hopefully in person soon, fingers crossed, get together and just talk about how dumb the whole thing is.
Absolutely.
He has the same mentality I do. This is dumb. This is a waste of time.
And you had good visual aids. Like I saw your kind of curve for the chemo treatments.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
my mountain climber like on Price is Right.
Yes. Do you have
That's
just,
all I hear. It's like, Yoda.
so that's as you're getting ready for the next one going up the hill, you just have the yodeler in the back of your head from Price
Yes,
is Right.
that's exactly what I have.
Because we all watched that over the summertime growing up. So awesome. Where can people follow you again?
A lot of stuff on Kate Marie PGH, but I've been posting a little. Well, yeah, Kate Marie PGH is most of my stuff on Instagram, where I've been posting most of the things. It's just a little bit easier and fun for me.
Excellent. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, producer Missy, for keeping traffic copying me a little bit over here as well. Thank you guys, everybody in the chat room. I saw a lot of people hopping through the night, including, I'll give some shout outs since I see it. Scott McTaggart, go check out his Pitch Words podcast. I know he's been doing some Zoom calls we talked about last week. Uncle Crappy, he's hanging out there. I don't know how he's doing Beer Me right now, but man, it's tough times. And somebody said, wait, what was this earlier? Hashtag John Wayne was Amanda. So I think that's our show title for tonight. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back here 7 p.m. Next week. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll be live relatively around 9 p.m. I don't know. I got to wrangle everybody on Facebook or Hangouts. We'll see how that goes. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you later.